There's one story that you hear about McCollum Hall that really fascinates me. And it warms your heart because McCollum Hall, the second floor, was a dance hall.
Right.
And the dance hall was where African American performers came because they couldn't go to the white venues in downtown. This is during segregation.
Right.
The story goes that when the music got playing, the red rope that separated the races, the blacks and the whites, that rope kind of fell away because the music started and people were dancing, they were together, they didn't care about that. And so, you know, I've said on occasion that McCollum Hall is where integration started in Fort Myers. And we look for McCollum Hall to be that place again, to bring people together in Fort Myers.
Yes. Welcome to another episode of Stories to Create podcast right here at EOS Club. I'm your host, Cornell Bunting. I am so excited today because you guys have no idea. I've been wanting this awesome sister on the show for so long now, but you know, because she's so big and important.
Oh, stop it.
We couldn't get her on here, people, but I gotta tell you guys, she's finally here. We are excited. You guys have no idea, man. You guys are in for a treat today, and I want you guys to be entertained as we dive into stories with the lovely Mrs. Michele Hylton-Terry. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Cornell. And I'm going to correct you because my husband would be concerned.
Okay.
Hylton-Terry.
Hylton-Terry.
My maiden name is Hylton.
Hylton-Terry.
Yeah, Hylton-Terry.
See, I don't put the Terry before the Hilton.
I don't want to disrespect him.
Yes. Hylton-Terry. This is good. So we take our listeners back with our guests, back when it first started, before the Mrs. Michele Hylton-Terry happened and all the impact that's been going on with you in the Southwest Florida. Take us way back.
So if you go way back, if we go way back, we have to go back to Jamaica.
Yes, okay.
So, yes, I was born in Jamaica.
Okay.
And my parents immigrated to the States and then sent for us.
Okay.
So in 1971, me and my two siblings came to America.
Wow, 71.
1971.
Ooh.
Brooklyn.
What was that culture like going from Jamaica to New York?
You know that you're going, you know that your life is going to change. Right. And the images that I had in my head about a thing that stuck with me and still today, you know, we were going to live in a skyscraper.
Right.
And what does a skyscraper look like when you're 5 years old?
Yeah.
And you've never seen a skyscraper and no one's like showing you a picture of what that is.
Right.
And this is a little funny, but somehow as a child, I had gotten a hold of a book that had igloos. And I thought, that's what we were going to live in. And when I got to Brooklyn and I saw the building, I was like, oh, this is not what I thought.
This is not it.
But, you know, as children, you're to be seen and not heard is a culture that we're raised in. And no one took the time to say, this is what it's going to look like. This is what your life is going to be going forward. This is the environment you're going into.
Right.
So we kind of made it up as we went.
You know, and I gotta get your take on this because when you came, Jamaica had just got their independence, 2 years prior? Was it?
71.
So what was that? 68 or 69 they got there?
I thought it was 68.
68.
I'm terrible on the history. I'll be honest.
But because a lot of people say a lot of stuff changed after Jamaica got their independence, but because you were so young, none of that was really.
No, I just wasn't aware of it.
Right.
All we knew was that we were coming to America. My parents had been gone for 3 years, and we were going to join them.
Wow. So when they left, who was you staying with?
My grandmother and my aunt Yvonne, who became like our second mother.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. My mother cherishes her to today, because she really nurtured and cared for us in that period of time. And my mother wasn't there.
Right. Wow. That is amazing. So you got to New York and, a lot of what you were thinking wasn't what you were.
It's completely different.
So you now got to settle in and figure out school and what that looked like. What was school like?
That was challenging.
Was it?
Because I was very shy, and I'm still shy to today. People don't believe that, but I'm an introvert.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
And I didn't adjust well because I didn't like being made fun of.
Okay.
So I found myself very isolated, and I pulled away from the other kids, and I got, quite frankly, okay being alone.
By yourself, okay.
And I remember the teachers would set me, they used to have these reading boxes. And because I would get my work done and then be like sitting there.
Yeah.
So she put me in front of the reading box, and I was fine. I was just there doing the different exercises and made it through school.
Okay.
But elementary school was challenging.
Yeah.
Middle school was a little better.
Okay.
Got to know people, got a little more comfortable in my own skin.
Okay.
And then high school, I think I kind of adjusted pretty good.
So I'm assuming A student the whole way.
I would say B+ the whole way. My brother was the A student, the overachiever.
Okay.
Very hard to live up to.
Okay. Wow. That is amazing. So you gained friends in middle school.
In middle and high school. And, in our culture, the church is very important.
Right.
And so we were very religious, and we were in church 4 days out of 7. Each week. And
that's brutal.
Sunday school, Sunday service, Sunday 4 o'clock, Sunday 7 o'clock night service, Saturday choir rehearsal, Wednesday youth service, Friday night is prayer meeting.
Come on.
I mean, we lived in church. So and that's where real true friends that I made were.
Okay.
Is at the church.
Oh, that is amazing. Because there was a Jamaican community up there.
Yes, very strong in Brooklyn.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So you finish high school. What was college? What was the step into college? If college happened, what was that?
So let me just go back and say this: that I struggled in high school with various home situations.
Okay.
I actually graduated early.
From high school?
From high school. I was 16 because I wanted to get going.
What?
I wanted to start making my own way.
Right.
I was very independent. I think when you decide that you want to do something, and I did. I looked at people on TV, and I remember thinking to myself, they've got their careers.
Right.
They're doing this thing.
Right.
I'm not going to watch TV because I want to be where they are.
There you go.
So I just dove in, did the work, got out of high school early, and went to Westchester Community College.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that was further away because, like, Westchester was like, what's that, like an hour away?
So the day before my high school graduation, my mother moves to Westchester County.
Come on.
The day before my high school graduation. And it was a sad day also because it was the day she left my dad, which meant that he didn't come to my high school graduation.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
But,
What was he, so he had friction with your mom?
She left. That's an understatement, Cornell. She left him the day before my high school graduation.
She left him. Oh my goodness.
We moved out that morning. I want to tell you that the moving truck showed up.
Yeah.
We didn't know we were moving.
What?
The moving truck showed up and the boxes showed up and we started packing.
Wow.
The day before my high school graduation.
No conversation about...
No.
Wow.
No.
So that sound like mom and dad kind of kept whatever they had going on away from you guys.
Yeah. A large department.
Okay.
You know, you see children know what's going on, even if the words are not said. They can see the interaction. Yeah. So yeah, we knew, and it was just unfortunate that was the day it happened. Oh man. Yeah, yeah. I regret not having my dad at my high school graduation, and you know, I was 16, and 9 years later I lost him. So, you know. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But you talked with him after that about that situation and stuff like that. Oh yeah,
yeah. Okay. He and I actually became very close.
Okay.
After that, and you know, I wish now that I had more time where we can all look back and say that with people we love and care about. But I'm grateful for the time that I did have with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did your mom ever just, you know, like you go back and you reflect just a little bit on, you know, the reason she kept a lot of that stuff from you guys?
Well, again, I think it's the culture. There's a lot of secrets. There's a lot of stuff that is not said. And children are very intuitive, and they're aware. They know stuff is going on, but they don't necessarily get that confirmation from the adults because you know, it's not their place.
Right. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So now, Westchester College, you adjusted.
So I went to Westchester for 1 year, and then I ended up marrying my high school sweetheart, somebody from church.
Yeah. Okay.
Went for a year, and then we got married.
Okay.
And started a family.
Wow. So you kind of put the career and all that stuff on hold. Stay-at-home mom for a minute.
Well, worked, and had my 3 boys.
Okay.
When my 3rd son was born, that's actually when I left the college. We purchased a home in New Jersey, and I was supposed to be a stay-at-home mom, but I'm just not that person.
Right. You're like, we can't do it.
I was home for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then with the aid of some real special women who became live-in nannies for us, I was able to start working again and just doing some of the things that really made me feel complete.
Oh, beautiful. So when did you transition to Florida?
So we moved to Florida about 33 years ago now. Wow. And my boys were young then, and it was to really give them a different life. Because by that time we were living in Queens.
Yeah.
And the crime and just the drug situation was in our face. And we just wanted them to not have to experience that.
Right.
My mother-in-law had just moved to Charlotte County, actually.
Okay.
And my husband tricked me. I'm going to go on the record and say it again. He tricked me. We came down to help her get settled in.
Okay.
And before we left, we put down on a house. So within 6 months of her moving here, we relocated here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah. And it was a good move for the kids.
Yeah.
It really was.
They liked that because of all the stuff that was going on.
All the things that were available to them. They got into community real quick with other kids and the school. They adjusted really well and all graduated from schools in this area and have gone on to do some cool things.
That is amazing. And I know my viewers are looking at you and they're like, man, she gonna throw some numbers out there, but she don't look the numbers that she it's not added up.
You're not supposed to tell your age. That's what I'm told.
Yeah. She looks so young, people. She looks so young. But if I was to say 47, she'd be like, no.
60 is right around the corner.
Come on. Did you guys just hear that?
It's right around the corner.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You know, this is beautiful. I guess that culture is so strong with you. It's rich, people.
Good genes.
I like that. Good genes. So you're now in Southwest Florida. You know, what made you wanted to step into the areas that you step into when you decided I'm going to work out here?
So, you know, I want to acknowledge a good friend. When I first moved here, a friend of mine in Charlotte County introduced me to Roy Kinnick's.
Okay.
Roy recently passed this 2 months ago or so.
Yeah.
And I got with Roy, and Roy, he had such faith and support for me, and he really encouraged me to go back to school.
Wow.
I told him that I started, and then I stopped to start a family.
Right.
And he's like, you're bright, but you've got to get your credentials. You've got to do the work.
Right.
And, I listened to him.
Yeah.
And I went back to Hodges, and I got my associate first.
Beautiful.
Then I got my bachelor's degree at Hodges.
Okay.
I wanted a full-time classroom program. So then I did my master's degree at Barry University here in town. Okay. And did an intensive 1 year every weekend, except for Christmas and I think Easter or something. We were very committed to that intense program, and achieved my master's degree in public administration. And by this time I was working for the city. Okay. And so I moved up from the planning department where I started to the redevelopment agency as their administrative assistant. Wow. I took the job as the administrative assistant in 2005. Okay. And really, Don Pate, who I have to shout out, who was an amazing mentor and support to me, kind of mentored me through the process. I became a redevelopment manager once I achieved that bachelor's degree. Okay. And worked in that position until about, 5-6 years ago, when I was promoted to executive director. Yeah. So, with everything that was going on in Southwest Florida, what was your interaction like in the communities at that time? So, I'm one of these people, I'm all in. So I'm very involved in a bunch of different organizations. Right. I'm very committed to working with the youth and children and supporting continuing education for them. And so I found that I've made a lot of friends and was able to contribute to some of these organizations. Right. Lee County Black History Society is another organization that I love. Yeah. And the history that they teach, not just local folks, but African-American contributions around the world and the country. Yes. And just being a part of community and feeling accepted really propels me to do even more. That is amazing. Now, what was those, so for you, because, I know a lot of individual that you're working with possibly was curious of the Jamaican culture. You know what? I gotta tell you. Yeah. Even like 2 days ago, someone said, "You're Jamaican?" Yeah. I guess my accent is not as beautiful as yours, so people do not realize I'm Jamaican. But yes. Oh my goodness. Do they ever inquire you bringing some of that good Jamaican food like that? I'm telling you, they don't even think I'm Jamaican. I think they don't believe me because I don't have your accent. But I'll go back to my mother because we were not allowed to speak any patois. Oh. Oh no, she was very rigid about that. Okay. We were gonna assimilate and come into America and fit in, and so there was no patois spoken in our home. And none of my siblings, actually. No? Either. Wow. We all kind of sound like this. Okay. So you never taught the kids patois? Your kids? No. Okay. But, my ex-husband is Jamaican. Okay. And you can't help but... throw it out there a little bit sometimes. It comes out when you're with family. It comes out when you're with friends. You can't control it. And people will say, "Oh, I hear something different when you're talking to a certain person." Okay. So there's that, but not the deep, heavy. Yeah. My mother wasn't going to have that. Oh my goodness. The relationship, what was the relationship like between city management, mayors, all that as you was evolving into where you are now at Sierra? Well, again, I want to thank Don Pate, who really taught me everything as far as redevelopment and kind of mentored me through the process. And as our working directly with the city council, which is our CRA commissioners, they relied on the expertise and the recommendation of their leadership, and Don definitely promoted me and gave me that opportunity. So I feel like I was well received and have been supported and allowed to really work in these various areas of our community. Yeah. I'm so proud of the work we get to do in the Martin Luther King redevelopment area, in the downtown, creating this energetic, vibrant space where people want to be. Yes. You know? Yes. And we have a lot of work to do, but we've gotten a lot done over time as well. Oh my goodness. Because you guys are doing so much too in the Dr. Martin Luther King area, and people like, are they going to be able to pull all that off? But you guys been... Well, it takes a lot. Yes, it's an overnight success, 20 years overnight. You know, it just takes a lot. Yeah. And we have some specific challenges that we're working with in the MLK area. Right. But I believe as the properties and the spaces and other areas get filled up, that we will be driving redevelopment to the areas that need it most. Right. Our Martin Luther King redevelopment area, our Cleveland Avenue, or soon to be again East Fort Myers redevelopment area, where we have major minority communities. I believe we're going to start seeing that investment now. Beautiful. And we can all prosper. I love that. I love that. And let me ask you, so the relationship now, with as busy as you are with the siblings, mom, what does that look like? With my siblings? Yes. So we're all over. Okay. My brother's in California. My sister and my mom are in New York. Okay. And my children are all over. My son lives in Portugal. I have one in San Diego and one in Manhattan Beach. So we are a family that we're always on the move because we do enjoy spending time together. So the holidays coming up will be time to get together and Zoom. You know, during COVID, we learned to do Zoom so we can be in communication because we weren't able to fly as much as we normally would. And so, yeah, in family and those relationships are key, and they have to be nurtured and developed, and so that is an ongoing process. I like that. What you know, in our culture, like I know moms always wanted to teach their daughter how to cook. Mm-hmm. Did mom ever get into that space with you? Man, I've been cooking since I was 10 years old. Are you kidding me? Cooking and baking. I don't bake so much anymore. I used to be the one to bake all the birthday cakes in our house. Okay. But I've been cooking since I was 10 years old. Wow. Yeah. So there is no dish right now that we could throw at you and you don't know how to throw it down. I don't think so. Ooh. Curry goat, oxtail, and saltfish. Okay. Yeah, okay. I can cook. What was that one food that you would say was the go-to food for you growing up? That I enjoyed or that I cooked? What do you enjoy? Stewed peas. Stew peas. Stew peas was my thing. Oh. Yeah, and I make it today, but I make it without the meat. Do you? Yes. Wow. So you do the spinners and with the kidney beans? Yes. And I use coconut milk. It gives you that same flavor like that salt pork or that meat. Oh my goodness. Was you ever a fan of the ackee and saltfish? Oh yeah, ackee. That's to today. That's the breakfast. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yes, so and you kids have kind of they've adapted to a lot of that oh, my kids are Jamaican. They're more Jamaican than me. Okay. So last Thanksgiving when two of my boys were coming, I don't cook curry goat. Okay. Because I don't really cook meat, but I had to get curry goat, I had to get oxtail, I had to give them what they were coming for. Yeah. Wow. They were coming for the throwdown. Yes, they were like, we want this, we want this, we want this. Yeah. So yeah. So, you know, I've had someone ask me one time, you know, why we bake the pudding in the banana leaf. Mm-hmm. Maybe you could give them a cool perspective on that, on how we did that. You've probably touched on the one thing that I don't do. I've never done that. I've never done that. No, now my mother has, but no, I've actually never prepared that. Wow. Mm-hmm. Not the banana leaf tied up and all that. I've seen it. I just never really understood the process. Well, my daughter-in-law is Puerto Rican, and her mother has prepared that and shared it with me, but I've never myself. And I don't think my mother really ever cooked it because I learned to cook what she cooked, right? Right. So, yeah. Wow, that is awesome. Mm-hmm. So every now and then you go up and see your mom. Oh, yeah. And, you know, my mom was here for about 2 years until Hurricane Ian last year.
Right.
Destroyed her place, and she had really just been here a short time, and I think such a devastating loss was too much, so she's relocated back to New York.
Wow.
Yeah.
She just didn't care for the hurricane.
Yeah, she just, like my brother lives in California, and I'm like, I can't deal with the earthquakes. I know when the hurricanes are coming. He's like, I can't deal with the hurricanes. So everywhere there's something, right?
There's something,
and we all learn to adjust. Well, I think that strong of a hurricane after her being here such a short time was just too much.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What is it like when you have students, interns from the college come into your space and want to learn a little bit on what you guys are doing?
So actually, we are in the process right now of getting intern. We've had interns over the years. Okay. And what we want to do is provide an environment where they're going to be taking something away, where they're going to be learning and participating and supporting our activities in redevelopment. Right. And this particular one is going to be a marketing intern that comes in, and she's going to be working with LaShawn Collier, who's our Deputy Director of Communication, who oversees all our various marketing and advertising programs. And so that intern, and I'm saying she because I'm not even sure if it's a male or a female. I haven't met the student yet, and they haven't started, but I know they're coming. Yeah. They're going to be in for a real treat because she's got a wealth of knowledge to share with them.
One of the things for us, like for me anyways, the space that I was in was hearing on all the beauty of what was on the MLK that they've lost, and hoping to get a lot of that back. And you guys been doing a great job to try to bring that back. What's the process?
So, interesting with MLK is that there was a time when that Dunbar community had all the businesses that were owned and operated by African Americans. And then over the years with desegregation, market changes, the road widening, we lost a lot of that. Yeah. And the CRA and the city's planning department has made some accommodations in to allow for businesses to go beyond just fronting on MLK. Right. It's still challenging because not too far behind that we have homes. And you don't want to displace anyone. Right. So we're limited as to how far we can go back to create the parcel size that you need for these various commercial kinds of development. So we're still challenged with that, but we're working on McCollum Hall. We've got a new developer, Goshen Cornerstone, out of Tampa and Atlanta. And recently they were at the CRA meeting and shared the vision and the drawings and really incredible images of what we will have, which will be a redeveloped McCollum Hall that will serve as a food hall. Okay. And to the east of it, 26 mixed-use apartments. Wow. So we at the agency for a long time knew that McCollum Hall could be a catalyst project. Right. And so it is getting built. It is actually happening. We're seeing plans, and we've got a timeline for mid next year for the actual construction to start. And we're really hoping that is going to encourage development on some of these other parcels that are available.
Yeah, I used to hear stories on McCollum Hall and like the different shops that were there. And the how they embraced that culture and the individuals that was behind that. For you, like, what were some of those stories you heard that stood out that you're like, hoping we could maybe bring that back?
So when you say stood out, there's one story that you hear about McCollum Hall that really fascinates me. And it warms your heart because McCollum Hall, the second floor, was a dance hall. Right. And the dance hall was where African American performers came because they couldn't go to the white venues in downtown. This is during segregation. Right. And the story goes that when the music got playing, the red rope that separated the races, the blacks and the whites, that rope kind of fell away.
Wow.
Because the music started and people were dancing, they were together. They didn't care about that.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, you know, I've said on occasion that McCollum Hall is where integration started in Fort Myers.
Yeah.
And we look for McCollum Hall to be that place again.
Okay.
To bring people together.
Yeah.
In Fort Myers.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. And it is so close to that little railroad there. The railroad there.
Infamous railroad track that divides our city. And, you know, it's symbolic and it has done that over time. But our goal is to change that and have it almost be invisible. Yeah. Because we know that we are as strong as our weakest link. So we support our whole community.
Yes.
So that we can all thrive.
Would you say that we're coming to a place now where both sides are coming together and really fully embracing each other and having a respect for?
So, you know, I think, and I don't want to get into the politics of the day because that is just so distressing.
Yes, yes.
But I see folks really working hard to improve and change things. Mm-hmm. And I want to focus on those changes. Yes. And so together we can do anything that we put our minds to.
I like that. Mm-hmm. When you get up in the morning before you hit the day, what is that one music that you go to that is like soothing to you? Like you're like, yes.
In the shower. I do my best thinking in the shower.
Okay.
I do a little meditation in the shower.
Yeah.
And that's what helps me to get my day going.
Do you ever do the beach like where you just reflect?
I love, oh my gosh, talk about the beach and water.
Yeah.
That is where I get re-energized. That is where I pull strength. Yes. I connect with the ocean and bodies of water. It could be a stream, it could be a river. And that is where I find most peaceful. There have been days in the past I would go out to Fort Myers Beach on the weekends and walk early in the morning with friends because that is where I get life. That's
a beautiful thing. Yeah. You said something there, so now I gotta ask you, when you ever visit Jamaica, do you ever get a chance to go to the river?
Let's see. The last time I was in Jamaica was 2015.
Okay.
And my husband took me to, because I'm like a tourist when I go to Jamaica. I'm sorry, I lived here when I was 5. I'm like a tourist when I go. Yeah. So we were on the North Coast. Yeah. We went to some of the highlight points that people told us we needed to go, but I have not been to Dunn's River.
No.
I have not been to Dunn's River.
What?
Can you believe it, Jamaica?
We got to fix that.
We got to fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's on my bucket list.
Yeah. Because everyone wants to go to Dunn's River when they go to Jamaica.
Yes.
The swimming of how we embrace what that's like. You think for us here, a lot of us go to the beach here just to remind us of what that was like and stuff like that.
That may be true. I find for me it just creates a sense of peace. Mm-hmm. Just connecting with nature.
Yeah.
And so I can see that people would do that.
Right.
In Jamaica, I have a picture of myself at about 3 years old.
What?
At the beach. And we don't have a lot of pictures.
Right.
I mean, there was like a handful of pictures.
Yeah.
But there was a picture, our parents had taken us to the beach and it seemed like it was a lot of people there.
Yeah.
And so, I guess from a baby, I've been going to the ocean, to the water, and it just is a part of me. I love it.
Yeah. So, you mentioned you guys did a lot of church growing up.
Yes.
Did your mom ever embrace Bob Marley music back then?
Are you kidding me? No. I'm probably the least Jamaican of Jamaicans that you will meet.
Right.
Because as I told you, there was no patois speaking in the house.
Right.
There was no reggae playing in the house.
Oh my goodness.
It was just kind of vanilla shell, man. And the funny thing is, my husband will say to me, "Are you sure you're Jamaican?"
Yeah.
Because when I was growing up, and especially when I was in high school, I told you I got really super focused on graduating.
Right.
So I would come home, I would go in my room, I would turn on the radio, to music that folks would probably call dentist music.
Okay.
And Murray.
Yeah.
And that was soothing music that I could listen to while I was working.
Right.
So that's what I grew up on.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, I know the Bob Marley songs. I know the popular Bob Marley songs.
Yes.
But we just didn't have that. We were kind of sheltered from that growing up.
Yeah. That's some would say preppy.
I don't think the intention was to be preppy. I think the intention was for us to be successful in this new life that they were trying to create for us. And, you know, I haven't said much about my mom, but I want to give a shout out because my mother was 19 years old when she came to this country, really not knowing anyone.
Wow, yeah.
And from there, and she gives credit to my dad because he said, we have to leave Jamaica to build the life that we want for our children. Wow. So she came first, then he came, and then they sent for us. So without that vision, which they protected by really protecting us, we've been able to create some amazing transformation in our family.
That is amazing. Mm-hmm. So now you have grandkids?
I do.
Oh my goodness.
You're going to love this. I have 7.
What?
7.
Already?
7.
Wow.
Well, I think this is it. The boys have said that they're done.
They're done.
Yes. My eldest grandchild, Anaya, just graduated from high school and started at the University of Michigan this past August.
Wow.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's serious right there.
Yes. And her father, my middle son, has a 2-year-old. So.
Wow. Big age gap.
Yes. But he's loving it. He's got his daughter and he's got his son.
That is amazing. So do you ever have all the grandkids at one time?
That is challenging because of the way the boys live. And what I found is that typically I'll be able to have 2 boys at a time. Okay. It just seems to work out that way. Yeah. Like last Thanksgiving, I had Darnell and Curtis, and those are the 2 California ones. Okay. And then when I go out to 2 years ago, I went out to Portugal for Christmas. Yeah. My son that lives there and my youngest son came out. Yeah. So it never works out right now for everybody. Right. But usually 2 out of 3. Okay. Yeah. I'll take that.
That is good. That is good. So you have actually figured out a way to balance between the work world, family.
I'm still figuring that out. Oh. Because I can be a little bit of a workaholic. Yeah. But because my children live where they do, they're not right here. I do have to make a very concerted effort. I have to be real intentional about carving out time with them. Okay. Yeah.
I like that. And how supportive it is with what you do now, because you have a huge title. Mm-hmm. How supported is your other half with you after putting so much time into?
You know, I have not said much about Mr. Terry, but he is an amazing husband, a wonderful human, and extremely supportive.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Because you need that.
Yeah. Because I am always everywhere and gone. Yeah. And he is secure in his skin, and we make it work. Yeah.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. Now, you know, with a lot of the big events that require your presence, was there ever a time when they reach out to you and you wanted to be there but you couldn't be there?
You know, I typically find a way to be there.
Okay, that's good.
So what I do and how I give back and how I contribute is important. My family's important, and maybe I have figured out more of a balance than I realized.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's working.
This is beautiful. Would you say now you're a very mature introvert?
I am a very mature introvert.
Ooh,
yes. And you learn to be and do what you need to do to get done what you need to get done. Right. But then at the end of the day, you know, being at home and just being able to be with myself and my thoughts and just be nurtured in that way is what energizes me.
That's beautiful. When you say that, how often do you get to do that?
Not as often as I would like.
This is good.
Not as often.
What is your go-to tea or coffee?
Peppermint tea.
Ooh, I like that.
I love peppermint tea.
Yeah, if there was ever a game that you would choose with the family, what game would it be?
Monopoly.
What?
We're a big Monopoly family.
So do you most of the time win the Monopoly game or?
My son.
Oh.
The youngest one.
What?
And he's been young and winning since he's been like 7 years old.
Wow, strategic is
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing. You guys never got into the domino stuff.
No, but the boys play it because their dad plays domino. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they get some of that too.
I like that. Mm-hmm. Sports. What's your go-to sports? None of it.
No, I really don't have an interest in sports. And if I had to pick anything, it would be tennis.
Okay.
Yeah, and I did play some tennis.
When Usain was running, did you ever get a chance to watch him in any of his races?
Not in person, but yeah, okay. I've seen him on TV, but right. Yeah, he makes me proud. Yes.
We love that.
Yes, it makes me proud.
Now, with everything you have going on, what does the next 3 years look like?
Well, the next 3 years really look like intentionally developing a plan to get more of our MLK redevelopment area to where we're seeing that investment. That investment is what changes everything for the community and for our citizens that live in that community.
That is beautiful.
So MLK and East Fort Myers. Those are my two focuses. I think Cleveland eventually will take care of itself.
Right.
It's a major artery. FDOT's doing road work now. Right. We're going to be installing landscape this year. We've got funds towards signage to help improve the kind of mix of signs that we have. Mm-hmm. We have some plans to do some land assembly and to track some commercial there that we just don't have the ability to do that because of the parcel sizes in some of these other areas. I see. So
now, when you say Cleveland, because that's 41.
Correct, Cleveland Avenue.
How far south do you go?
Our redevelopment area goes all the way to Boy Scout.
Oh.
From like Victoria down to Boy Scout. So it's a pretty big stretch.
Yeah, that is a big stretch right there.
Yeah.
Wow. Because you guys are still doing construction towards Victoria on that side, or that road work is done.
So I want to be clear that FDOT is the one doing that road work.
Oh, okay.
And the city partnered with them and did some utility work.
Okay.
And at the end of all of that, the redevelopment agency is going to fund the landscape improvements. Oh, so, it's a partnership. We're all got a piece of it.
That is beautiful. Mm-hmm. McGregor is a part of what you guys
McGregor is not in the CRA.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so good for folks to know that the funds generated in our redevelopment areas have to be spent in those redevelopment areas. Yes. We have very defined areas. Okay. And of course, all of that is available on our website.
Oh my goodness, it's amazing. As you mentioned the website, shout out the website.
FortMyersCRA.com is where you can find out all about the projects that the Community Redevelopment Agency is working on and see if there's a program that you may be able to participate in.
Ooh, there you go. And then if individuals that want to find you, just say, hey, I heard you. Where can they find you?
Well, you can find me on the website and you can reach out to me on Facebook.
Ooh, there you go. Yes. She is on Facebook.
I'm on Facebook.
It's a beautiful thing. So now, with where we're heading with this shift of inclusion and stuff like that, what is your one encouragement to the youths that are coming up now, the Gen Z, that they would say? What would you say to them that feel discouraged?
I want to say to the youth that's coming and really to anybody that's listening, it is so important for you to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Yes. And reach out and connect with others when you don't have that belief in yourself. One thing I will tell you, there was a time, and it's another show, when I did not have that belief in myself. And I had to rely on other people's belief in me. Sometimes you got to hold on to other people's belief in you until you can gain that for yourself.
Right.
And then get your education.
Wow.
which is the key to moving forward.
Yes.
You must get that education. Find something you love, something you're passionate about, and then just go all in.
Yeah. Wow.
And the rest will work out. And of course, I'm a spiritual person, so I have faith and connect with my creator and my source, and everybody should take the time to do that as well.
Wow. You said something that I know resonate with our listeners right now. At one point, you didn't believe in yourself, but you held on to the people that you believe in.
So important.
Oh my goodness, that is huge right there.
Yeah. Oh, and literally, I had to hold on to it for dear life.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Until I got that belief in me.
Yes.
I had to hold on to their belief in me.
Wow.
And we all are amazing.
Yes.
We all are here for a reason.
Yes.
We all are not here by accident. God created you, and dig down.
Yes.
Ask the hard questions.
Yes.
And you'll be amazed at the answers that come back.
Ooh, gems! The mic have dropped, people. Oh my goodness. I'm going to say it right this time. My beautiful sister, Mrs. Michele Hylton-Terry.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being on the show, love.
Thank you.
This was amazing.
Yes, it was.
Oh my goodness.
Truly enjoyed it.
Yes, and we created some story. You guys can appreciate that. I want to thank you again for being on the show. Until our next show, where we create another story with another amazing individual like Miss Terry over here. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited.